It's time for Views from the Stands with your hosts, Stevie B, G-Mike, and BC. Let's get it poppin', y'all.
Welcome into Views from the Stands. I'm your host, Stevie B, Steve Brennan, and we have the full crew ready to rock and roll tonight. Mr. BC's in the building, and we got the G-Mike. And it's been a little while since we've all been together, so it's a great reunion to have the boys back in the building. We have a jam-packed show for you tonight. We're going to be fitting in a lot of stuff in tonight. We have two special guests coming on the show. We're going to be talking some USA hockey, which we don't get a chance to do very much. But after that historic run, we got to talk about that. We have a fun DownBad debate for you tonight and anything else that comes up. But without further ado, let's not let the people keep on waiting. And let's go ahead and get to our first special guest.
Special guest Views from the Stands.
Welcome into Views from the Stands. Jeff, how are you doing tonight?
Terrific. How about you guys?
That is awesome. So, Jeff, I'm glad I reached out to you because you have a very interesting story, and I can't wait for you to explain to the people what you have going on and everything that your story. Because I was reading up on some of it, and it's remarkable, man. So, without further ado, why don't you go ahead and let the people know what you have going on and your author and your book, man? Yeah, humble brag.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much. Thanks for the opportunity. Basically, when I was 48, I started to first get involved with endurance sports. I ran my first 10K that year. And before that, really hadn't done any running or anything endurance related, and really kind of got bitten by the bug, tried to run a 10K a little bit faster. And then over the next couple of years, started to get into longer distances. Eventually took on my first marathon, then got involved with triathlon, ultra marathons, and on to Ironman. And in my book, Racing Against Time, basically talk about that journey, which took place mostly through my 50s and into my early 60s.
That's impressive. So you started your first 10K at 48?
I did. And for me, it was kind of unfinished business. I had tried one when I was 17. And it was a bit too much for me back then. Ran the first 4 miles, ended up walking the last 2, and always was kind of embarrassed by my failure to really just run the entire race. And so that kind of gnawed at me. And so when I was 48, I took a running class of all things, and the goal of the class was to run a single 10K. And for me, it was super exciting to kind of erase that failure close at a point in life when I was getting close to the age of 50.
You know, they do make a 5K, buddy. You don't have to just jump straight to the 10K, man.
No, I actually did do the midpoint of the class. We did do a 5K.
Okay.
And then at the end we did. It was the Veterans Day 10K in Washington D.C. Big race, beautiful course, high energy, and really I thought the whole thing was kind of cool.
Man, that's amazing. Actually, my aunt, which I'm pretty sure is tuning in, she actually ran the marathon for the Marine Corps marathon in DC as well. It said it was an amazing time as well. So I think she was.
Oh, it's amazing.
For a shout out, yeah.
Yeah, that was I've done that race 3 times. That was my first marathon, and it's a magnificent course. It is truly put on by the Marine Corps. They staff it, and the amazing thing, or one of the amazing things about that race, is when you finish, a Marine Second Lieutenant greets you, salutes you, and puts the medal over your neck, which is incredibly powerful, especially for your first one.
Yeah, especially too. My kind of funny story actually too. I got to shout my dad out. My dad was a Marine, and he was supposed to run it with her, but got injured the last second, and so she ended up having both bibs because she already paid for it. So technically, my dad actually ran the race as well, so she completed 2 of them for him. So
that's awesome. That's really awesome.
Technically, he's on paper for saying that he actually did it, but my aunt she kicked ass and actually did both.
I love that. Did he ever go back and do the race?
Never got a chance to. He's starting to get back into a little bit of running now, but I don't know. I thought definitely not probably going to get to that level again. But that's impressive as hell, man. So you went from a 10K, and then what was the next step after that?
I ran that distance a few more times, and then did a half marathon about a year after that first 10K, and then did that first marathon right after I turned 50, about a year after the half, and so kind of just progressed in a fairly orderly way. And then, but didn't get into the ultras and the long course triathlon, half Ironman and half Ironman. Didn't get into that until I was in my late 50s. And
sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt. But just out of curiosity, for those maybe that aren't as familiar with distance running as someone as yourself, you mind explaining maybe to some of the viewers at home, like the differences between each of these races, the 10Ks, the 5Ks, regular marathon, half marathon, ultra marathon, and Ironmans, just to kind of set the standard for them.
Sure, absolutely. 5K is 3.1 miles, 10K 6.2. Next standard distance up is a half marathon, 13.1 miles. Full marathon is 26.2 miles. An ultra marathon is any distance run that is more than a marathon distance. There are a couple popular distances, 50 kilometer, which is 31 miles, 50 miler, 100 miler. Those are I think the best known ones. And then with triathlon, it goes anywhere from a sprint, which is typically about 300 or 400 yards of swimming, about 10 to 12 miles of biking, and then usually a 5K run, all the way up to the full Ironman distance, which is 2.4 miles of swimming, 112 miles of cycling, and then a full 26.2 mile marathon.
Oh, sheesh! Wow, that is amazing.
That's channeling your inner Forrest Gump right there.
Yeah, right.
I read the description. It's like it's a long day, but at least it's catered.
Right.
Which does tend to help.
What are the prerequisites to try to get in shape to do a triathlon or even a marathon itself? There's a lot of people that just go into fitness, just go to the gym, run like maybe 2 times a week, do a little bit of cardio and this and there. I want to hear the difficulties that goes into training into something like this.
Yeah.
That's a great question. I think for me, it started with just committing myself to working out 6 days a week, at least 45 minutes each time. And decided that I would cross train, which is pretty typical to avoid injury. So I was running typically 3 times a week, cycling 2, and swimming 1. And then realized, okay, I'm cross training already. I should try a triathlon, and did that. And then as you get into longer distances, you have to up the volume of your training. Not as much as you might think. In other words, for example, to do a half Ironman, which is half of all of those distances. So 1.2 mile cycle, 50 swim, 56 mile cycle, and a 13.1 mile half marathon. It's not twice as much training to go from that to a full Ironman, but you do have to up your volume considerably. And for me, I didn't take on Ironman until I'd been doing endurance sports for about 9 years. And even then, once I made the decision to do it, I still spent a year training for that specific race. For a marathon, if you've run a 10K and you're decently fit, probably will want to train in a very specific way for about 20 weeks to do a marathon race. Some people can do it in 16 weeks, but that's fairly standard. And it's very doable. It's surprisingly achievable for folks. Now, having said all of that, I don't evangelize for any of these particular activities to do marathons or ultras or Ironman. For me, they were great because I liked setting goals. I liked kind of achieving them. It just gave me a nice feeling that my life had adventure in it. But I think anything that keeps you working out on a regular basis is fantastic.
So true. I feel like it goes hand in hand with business as well. I feel like if you're able to be so disciplined to work out and try to, maybe you're not going to be having an 8-pack and be 2% body fat or nothing like that. But if you consistently try to be on a diet, try to continue to work out, I think it pushes that discipline onto business, onto family relationship, friend relationships, and stuff like that.
I think that's perfectly said. I think, and to me, that was a huge part of it, that it cuts across everything in your life. And I think at all phases of your life, you should strive for excellence and really strive to be, and it sounds like a cliche, but I really think there's a lot of truth in it, to be the best version of yourself, whether it's in business or as a spouse or a parent or a sibling, whatever that might be. And sport, I think, is one great area in which to develop those skills and those disciplines.
Jared, it's going to be our next guest coming on as well. He said he was giving me a lot of props, saying the only 10K I've achieved is calories.
I love that.
Absolutely, man. I completed a 5K one time. I was impressed. Actually, 2 times. I've done 2 5Ks. That was kind of fun. I wanted to maybe try to venture off to maybe try the 10K, but my feet kind of were hurting really bad afterwards, and I was like, you know what? I was happy with completing it. I made it without stopping, so that was the biggest thing. But it was just such an accomplishment. It felt really cool doing it, feeling really accomplished
Mhm.
after we're done. It's hard to explain, really.
No, I
Yeah.
totally agree with you. I mean, I'll never forget just the start of my first 10K, and whatever the starter's pistol or however they did it, and just everybody surged forward, and it was so high energy and kind of exciting, and
Mhm.
I say all of this as somebody who never really enjoyed running until
Yeah,
I
that was
got
one of my
into it, and
questions
even
too.
getting into it now, I still don't find it to be a gloriously exciting activity, but finishing a race is an absolutely amazing feeling, and just being able to keep moving
Definitely.
your body for hours potentially
Yeah.
is pretty exciting.
The
Well,
book
and,
is
and
Race Against Time, and you can get it on Amazon and anywhere, any at your website as well. Do you want to go ahead and promote that one?
Um, yeah, so basically, I decided a few years ago, I think after doing my first Ironman, I went on to do a second one. That I felt like there was kind of an arc to the story, sort of getting into these sports that were really in many ways outside of my comfort zone, and
yeah.
and kind of the rewards that I felt that it gave me to achieve those things. Felt like it was a story that I thought others might benefit from hearing. For me, when I first started to get involved in this kind of thing, read lots of memoirs. Of course, read David Goggins' two books, Rich Roll's book, Dean Karnassus, and I loved hearing their stories. They inspired me, gave me, I think, the confidence to take on new things that were outside of my comfort zone. I had once joked to a friend years ago that I was as likely to run a marathon as I was to walk on the moon, and I really did believe that at the time. But then actually doing it and then going on to ultras. Really was an incredible feeling. And it's wonderful to surprise yourself, wonderful to realize that, actually I'm capable of more than I had thought. And where might those limits be? And what else might I be able to do? So
Yeah.
that was
Mhm.
basically, kind of the message I wanted to share in the book. And just some of those stories, I think people will hopefully get something out of it that will give them confidence to do some new things. That basically was what I was hoping to achieve.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
absolutely, absolutely. I did have another question for you too, and it's not just all about the running too. Correct me if I'm wrong. You've written, is this like your third book, possibly?
Correct. It's my third book.
That's what I thought. Yeah, that's
Uh,
what I was reading up on your site. That was really interesting. But you've what were the other two books about? It was like war, like war books or something, right?
First book was military history, and the second was a biography of a particular. He was a bomber pilot in World War II, then became a fighter pilot. But at the same time, he was an interesting guy. He was also an artist and a writer, and was killed back in 1948. He was someone who fought in World War II. His service was in the Pacific, flying bombers, and then he ended up actually, of all things, coming to Israel, became one of its very first fighter pilots, and died during the country's War of Independence. So yeah, for me, also writing was just a challenge to take on. It also, for me, has become a daily discipline. I actually start my day with an hour of writing, and then I do my training before getting on with the workday. So yeah, for me also, that's been a lot of fun and a great way to surprise myself.
I will say you spoke a little bit there with, like challenge, like writing, it's challenging yourself, and like fitness and everything is challenging as well. I wanted to kind of hit on that as well for a lot of people. Like we talk about people trying to get into doing stuff like this. What would you say have been some challenges for you? Maybe like when you first started out, with your training as well. Even today, like what are some things that maybe a bit of a grind when you're doing your training, when you're going through those races? Because again, it's distance, it's endurance. It's not all sunshine and rainbows. I'm certain there are times where it can kind of be a little bit of a drag. So it's like, what are those challenges like, and how do you push through them?
I think that's well put. I think you know I think in a running race, almost nobody's out there running with a smile. It's not that kind of an activity. I think for me, in fitness, as in so many things, one of the keys is to really build habit. And so at the beginning, working out takes willpower. Do I really want to go running this morning, especially if it's dark and it's cold, or if it's sunny and incredibly hot and humid? Is this really something I want to do, or would I rather just kind of sit around or go back to sleep or whatever that alternative might be? So building those habits early on, that takes willpower, that takes discipline. Once, though, you make that part of your life, it actually can go on autopilot in so many ways. I never have a debate within my mind, should I actually go swimming this morning, or should I run or cycle, or whatever it might be. I will always do it. Now, having said that, pushing on for longer and longer and more challenging races, that can be a lot of training. getting ready for a marathon, you're going to have to do some long runs, 2 hours, 3 hours, maybe 4 hours. And that can take some getting used to. And with ultras, I mean, my longest race was 72 miles. That ended up taking me a little over 20 hours to run. So you do have a lot of fights with yourself in the longer stuff. But at the end, the reward is immense.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think what every day is just about the daily struggle of having the courage to keep being disciplined. Because if you stack W's, like how you're mentioning, like you go on autopilot. Like if you say you're gonna wake up at 7 a.m., boom, you wake up at 7 a.m. That's a W right there. I'm gonna eat a little bit of protein before I go on a run, and then you have like a daily schedule of what you're gonna do and be organized. Those are all W's that stack up, and as long as you keep on doing it, after a while, after a while, after a while, just like Jeffrey mentioned, it's gonna turn into an autopilot system.
Yeah.
I love that. And I actually think that is exactly the right way to think about it. In other words, to celebrate those victories along the way. And to, the fact that you got up early and you did a hard workout, you feel great afterward and just really enjoy it. And you do have to look ahead to what you're training for. And that can be helpful and exciting. But you also have to enjoy what you're doing while you're doing it and to really appreciate the fact that, not everybody is doing this. It's not that easy. If it was easy, everyone would be doing it. And just, be proud of yourself and appreciate the effort that you're putting in.
You
Which
mentioned
out of the three, which one do you think, if you're doing like an Ironman triathlon, one of those, which one do you find yourself having the most either difficulty with, or is like the toughest preparing for the race?
It's funny. I think psychologically, the swim for me is the most difficult. The 2 Ironmans that I did, the race starts in the dark. Water was incredibly cold. You're surrounded by hundreds of people, and just psychologically, that was very daunting. The first time I did it, I actually had cold shock. I was hyperventilating, and so that was very scary. But in fact, that's my strongest leg in the 3 different disciplines. The run is tough, is probably toughest for me in the sense that you're pretty spent by then. I mean, in my case, I'd been racing for over 10 hours when I started the marathon, and it was tiring. And so not over 10 hours, maybe over 9 hours when I started the marathon. And so I was pretty wiped out. And so yeah, but I think, lots of self-talk, lots of encouraging yourself to keep moving forward. There's a sign, if you run a marathon, you'll see people are on the side of the road with encouraging signs. It's very sweet and very, some of them are funny, some of them are inspiring, but there's one that I see all the time at marathons. Pain is temporary, victory is forever. And I've thought about that sometimes during hard times in races, that, this is really difficult right now, but if I can persevere and get through this, I'll have something that I can really cherish, really for the rest of my life. And that has worked well to get me through the tough times.
So a lot of athletes as well, like, training and stuff like that. One other part of, I guess you could say, like prep that maybe isn't talked about as much is sort of maybe like a pre-race, ritual, superstition. Like most athletes have one. So out of curiosity, what is yours? How do you get yourself in that headspace and that mind space to be able to go complete these monster marathons, man?
I think, well, I guess 2 things. One, I personally, and this is probably a bit nutty, but I love logistics. So I love, really thinking through what am I going to need during the course of this race? What kinds of things might come up? And to make sure I have all of the gear with me that I might need. And I like that. I like laying it out. I like thinking about it. I like organizing it in the most efficient way possible. I think that's kind of fun. And a little bit of a metaphor for life, really trying to go through life in a thoughtful, thinking ahead, prepared kind of way. The only thing that I do that's probably unusual is that first Marine Corps marathon that I ran. They often say, this is probably something that I read in one of those fitness memoirs, if your race is going to start early in the morning when it's cold, bring like a set of sweats that you're going to throw away. So just a pair of baggy sweatpants and a sweatshirt to wear over it. And for that very first one, for whatever reason, I took a hoodie, and I just loved, like, with the hood over my head, because just it like gave me like a quiet space with all the music blaring and everybody was excited, but I could also be aware of that. It was sort of the perfect balance. So now for me, every every long race that starts in the morning, I always bring a hoodie, wear it with the hood up, and just kind of try to find a little bit of peace and reflection before all of the excitement begins.
Nice.
Yeah.
Do you listen to any music while you're training or running? Because I know some people that's like I think some people like the music, or some people it says it throws them off. What do you prefer?
I definitely want to be listening to something.
Yeah, okay.
When I
Me too.
train, usually it's a book on tape or a podcast. I think
If
both
only
are
there was
amazing.
a great podcast that you can listen to, you know?
Exactly. So I mean, podcasts
So
are my
fun.
typical go-to. Sometimes I go back to books on tape for a little while, then I always end up coming back to podcasts. They're kind of perfect. So podcasts like this one, I think is an amazing thing to do during races. I've done both ways, but I definitely want something to be listening to. I don't want to just be in my head the entire time.
Yeah.
Now there's one of the longer races that I tried, they actually banned headphones, and so that was its own challenge, to be in your head for
Definitely.
in that case 11 hours without being able to listen to anything. That I wasn't crazy about. So I do like the distraction. There's some people who just can be excited about being in nature, but I don't think I'm on that kind of spiritual level to do that.
I wanna jump back to my bad, BC. I just want to get this one out there because I just feel the discipline part of this whole thing is very important to me, and I feel like it should be very important to people. So you said you started around 48. So there was a moment in time that I feel like a lot of us have where you start to try to become an athlete, or you are an athlete but you're just not consistent enough, and there's days that you'll go 4-5 days in a row eating right, training good, resting, and then on that 6th day you decide, oh, I want to go get some McDonald's, let me go hang out with the wife, let me not work out, and this and that, and then they go back into the hole of, no, I'm not going to be able to train, no, I'm not going to be able to do that, and then 2 weeks, and then a month, and then 2 months, and then 6 months pass by and they're not training. What would be the advice that you would give to these people on how not to just because you skipped one day, don't let it just turn yourself around, your whole ambitions around, and not get back on the horse and try to keep going?
Yeah, I think that's the right question for all of us, especially at the beginning. I think for me, building it as a habit, there's advice that they give in the world of personal finance: pay yourself first. So if you want to save money, take money out of your paycheck right when you get it, put it aside for savings or for investment before you start spending money on other things. And that way you will make sure every month that you are saving money. And so for me, paying myself first, and when it comes to my health and to fitness, means working out first thing in the morning, or for me, very second thing in the morning, but before my workday. Once my workday starts, I don't really own my time in the same way. I don't control it. Surprising things can happen. If I had thought I was going to work out at lunch, that may not in the end be possible, or at night. So I think that's an important thing, and just trying to build a habit. And then years ago, I read a book called The Slight Edge, and I think the author's thesis basically was it's the small things done consistently over time, either for better or for worse, that will really alter kind of the course of our life. I mean, if I work out today, if I don't work out today, on a certain level, it doesn't really matter. But if I make that same choice every day for the next 5 years, it's going to make a huge difference over the course of that 5 years. And I think fitness is one way in which we can dramatically alter how we age. I just made my 50s and my early 60s now. Super exciting, super active. And I think it's something that we can all have to one degree or another in our lives. And I think we should make that effort. But if we do hit a rough patch, and look, certainly when you're younger, you have young kids, it's hard to be as consistent. I certainly wasn't. I mean, I lifted weights kind of throughout that whole period before I got into endurance sports, and had been super consistent in my 20s, and then in my 30s and 40s, much less so. Still lifted, but not nearly with the same kind of discipline that I had experienced before. So yeah, I think just recognizing that consistency has its reward over time. It's not sexy to do it every single day, or in my case, 6 days a week. I mean, I do think you want a rest day in every week.
Definitely.
But yeah, if you can be consistent, you'll be really pleased down the road.
Okay. Nice.
What's one thing you want everybody to take away from this book after they read it, and just your story?
I think for me, I mean, what was exciting to me was it really changed how I aged. I just felt myself slowing down. I felt myself getting weaker. and getting involved with endurance sports, pushing myself, taking on more difficult challenges, just really, it made me more fit, more active, more excited, more capable. And I think it bled into my work life and gave me a lot of energy there as well, which I really liked. And so, I think there's a lot of talk these days about longevity and health span, kind of longevity, how long we might live, health span, kind of that period of our life where we are fit, free of disease, healthy, active. And I put the longevity piece off to one side. I think there's just a lot of variables there. There's so much of that I don't control. And I don't find that to be a very motivating concept. But health span, I mean, we have enormous influence over how we age. This isn't like an edgy, controversial area of science. If we work out regularly, we'll get stronger, better, faster, more energetic. And I think life lived that way is it's more fun. It's more exciting.
Yeah, 100%.
So another fun question here for you. We talked a little bit about like pre-match rituals and stuff like that. Do you have any pre-match or not pre-match? Oh my gosh, wow, pre-match, pre-race meals that maybe you have, or do you kind of just keep it small? Do you keep it light? Do you like to kind of load up on maybe carbs? And then also, yeah, and then when it's all said and done as well, like what's your favorite way to celebrate a victory completing a marathon?
I do try to be very mindful about my nutrition, both my pre-race nutrition and then the calories that I take in during the race. With races, typically it's gels and some type of electrolyte drink. For the really long races, for the ultras, you do have to have some regular food in there somewhere. And in ultras, I allow myself to eat a bunch of candy, which I find very motivating because those gels get very repetitive over time. It's funny that in terms of a post-race ritual, pizza after a race is an incredible thing. Pizza and beer, especially. In September, I ran the Berlin Marathon, and the beer really is better over there.
Wow.
And
yeah, there you go. There's got to be a beer somewhere in there.
I had to rush to the airport after that race, and I had beer and pizza at the airport. And I swear it was the best meal I've ever had in my life. And I just went right back and ordered the exact same thing again. And it was just as good the second time as it did the first. But honestly, I'm a sucker for the medals. When I cross and I'm embarrassed to say it, but when I cross the finish line, I just find myself looking like where's the person giving out the medals, and I'm just so excited to get one, and just to have that feeling of accomplishment that I did it. It was hard, and
you earned it.
super exciting. And I think the other part of the other reason why I wanted to write the book was I'm not one of these people, and you read about them who really didn't run much before they start with running and discover, oh my God, like I'm incredibly fast, I'm incredibly talented, and their very first marathon, they'll run a Boston Marathon qualifying time and do all sorts of amazing things, and I'm inspired by those stories, but I also struggle to relate to them because I think that's not most of us. And in my case, I'm not an especially fast runner or triathlete at all. And yet I get so much out of these activities. And I think others, will get so much out of just pushing themselves physically in whatever direction that might be. And again, it doesn't have to be these sports, but I think, finding ones that you can stick with and get some enjoyment and sense of accomplishment out of, I think is the key.
Yeah. Race isn't always given to the swift nor to the strong, but the one who endures.
Exactly. And I love that. And I love those things. I mean, I love that kind of inspiration. And when you start to push yourself, you really do experience what that actually means and how that actually feels, which is fantastic.
What's the next race you got coming up?
Yeah.
I'm halfway through running the 6 original world major marathons: New York, Chicago, Boston, Tokyo, London, and Berlin. And to this point, I've done the 3 non-US ones: Tokyo, London, Berlin, in that order. And next will be Chicago this coming October.
There's some deep dish for you over there, man.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And then New York after that, and then Boston will be the final one of the 6. And then we'll see what else I do after that. But I do like goal setting. I do like having a race on the calendar. It focuses my training and just makes me feel like my life still has adventure, which I think is a good feeling.
You're not currently running as you're doing this interview, right? Like,
He definitely is. He has a
Green screen
treadmill on the
I thought the
bottom.
screen was
He has
going
a
almighty
treadmill.
fast there, man.
Yeah, definitely.
Well,
not.
Jeff,
AI,
you've
man.
been honestly, you've been an inspiration to all of us, man, and it has been
Really have
really
been.
awesome experience having you come on here. The book is called Racing Against Time. One more time for Jeff, you can also please go ahead and give please give away that everybody can get your book and where to find you and follow this journey. I hope you can come back on and keep us posted on how this journey is going, especially with the other marathons. But where else can they find your information and where to find your book?
I also have an author website, jeffreyweissauthor.com. I'm on LinkedIn, and yeah, the book is on Amazon. But would love to hear from folks. And I love this stuff. I love talking about it. I love thinking about it, planning for it, and kind of reliving the memories. So definitely encourage others to who've. I mean, for me, when I got started, there was a feeling that I used to have for years, which is that I'll get more serious about my fitness later when I have more time. And at 48, it kind of hit me like later is now. There's no more pushing this off.
There's no tomorrow.
Yeah, exactly. And so I kind of wrote the book with folks like that in mind, people, hitting their 30s, 40s and in the back of their minds knowing, what, I need to be a little more serious about this kind of thing. And maybe a story like this can help folks kind of get kickstarted.
You just need like 30 minutes to an hour a day. It doesn't even have to be several hours at the gym. It just has to be, a consistent level of going. Like Jeff said, you could have one rest day a week. You need that rest. That's how your body is going to recover and to improve itself. But if we're doing at least 5-6 times a week working out, it could be cardio, lifting weights, playing sports. It'll be better for our health, 100%.
That is it. I mean, that's the recipe exactly there. That's exactly the recipe.
The rest is built in the kitchen.
It's amazing. Yep.
Absolutely. Well, Jeff, like we said before, it's been an awesome time you coming on here, man. Please, you have our email address. Keep us posted on what you got going on. We want to keep this journey going. This is really interesting. I really want to know how you fare out with the other marathons. That's really cool. Even though there was like 6 original, that's information I didn't even know. So keep us on your journey with you, and we really hope the best for you. And please come back on the show and keep us in the loop.
Thank you so much. I really enjoyed the conversation. You guys are amazing, and I love the show.
Thank you.
We appreciate it, Jeff. We appreciate it.
Awesome.
We'll talk to you very soon, Jeff. Keep up the good work, man. You're inspirational.
Thank you so much.
Definitely.
All right.
Have a great one.
Wow, what an inspirational story, man. Jeff, what a great guest we had on there, too. And
I'm going to have to log out and go run a marathon right now. Go run through a brick wall.
Hey, we got to definitely, man. Hey, that was a sign from God. We got to lock in with our health, people.
Seriously,
we have to lock
fellas.
in, literally.
Yep.
Absolutely, man. Yeah, and so that was definitely really cool. And while we're waiting on our next guest to get all fired up and ready to go, we also met Jeff through Podmatch, and so we want to give credit to Podmatch. If you're doing any kind of podcasting out there, Podmatch is an absolutely amazing company to work with, and they are. I can't say enough. We've gotten all kinds of interesting people to come on the show and to do interviews and to promote, and it's all about helping everybody else out. And they're a great company. And going from talking about an amazing athlete, and then we got Jared, our next guest, who is not.
At all.
Don't let him try you like that. Don't let him try you like that. Don't let him try you.
Hey, listen. That's all right.
Let me do a proper introduction. Let me do a proper introduction here.
Yeah, right.
We got
Give him a
Mr.
good
Jkable
intro.
in the house. He's one of my oldest, closest friends that I've had. We're going on about 30 to 35 years of friendship, and I actually truly mean that. It's been that damn long that we've known each other, and we've been busting on each other for so long, but I'm truly honored to have Jared.
Pause.
And here's the thing, too. I've been preaching about trying to get Jared to come on the show since episode 1.
Pause. You can't keep going after you said that. You need to relax.
I don't think that's PG.
Well, listen, Steven did have the Hanson haircut. I did think he was a girl, but I wasn't busting.
You're admitting it. Finally, you're admitting it.
Dang. There's so much I'm learning about Steve right now. Oh,
Right? In a matter of 5 seconds to the show.
This is the Lord that we needed, man.
Hey, man, how's everybody doing? How are you guys doing tonight?
I feel
Doing
inspired.
good, man. What about you?
I feel good. The man that came on was talking about the marathon. I was very inspired. I said, well, after I eat this Publix chicken, I'm probably going to go ahead and watch a marathon on YouTube.
Hey, Publix chicken sub?
Dude, that's hard to say no to, man.
Hey, man, it's
Publix
hard to
chicken
say
subs,
no.
man. Oof.
Hey, listen. I don't
love
know
those.
anything about sports. I know you guys are the professionals. Steven said something about a debate. I said, all I know how to do is debate. He sent me a picture of all of these athletes. I said, I don't know who none of them are. I stopped watching basketball when Karl Malone retired. So Steven knows that.
Oof.
Yeah,
Okay,
I was going to bring
let's.
that up. I was going to bring that up.
So,
But we can talk about something that you do know very well and something that you do very well. And we have an event coming up on February 27th in Cocoa. Mr. J. Holloway, take it away and let the people know what you have coming up.
Well, thank you. I would love to let everybody know. So I got a great show coming up in Cocoa. I would like all of you to come. I know you guys don't live close, but if you show up, I'll get you a ticket. Let me tell you something. You've never seen anything like it. Greatest guy ever, Jkable. Great guy. Wonderful guy. African American. You know, I'm endorsed by Trump, but he can't be here tonight. But he told me to go ahead and tell you that we got a good show. I've been at this place. This is in my hometown. It's a new restaurant. It's about 2 years old. A friend of mine that I grew up with, his grandmother and my grandmother were very close. He opened up a restaurant. He started with a food truck. So he started a Cajun Soul Bistro. A wonderful, great food. They got a great stage, so I've done a few shows there, but I do travel all over the country, and I do Rhythm and Bible. I have a tour coming up in June as well in the UK. I will be going overseas because that's where most of my fans are. They don't even know that Rhythm and Bible is the Bible part. I think one of the gentlemen mentioned something about the race. One of you said it's not it was yeah, he was preaching, and I almost thought the Holy Spirit in the backstage. Hallelujah. Right there.
I appreciate it. That's
Somebody knows the word in here, Stephen. I'm glad you got somebody know the word because Stephen don't know it. But anyway, so
that's
but yeah,
the
man,
Lord,
Stephen,
Dad, and
thank
the
you.
good Lord. That's
Look,
it, man.
thank you for having me on, Stephen. I know I'm really proud of Stephen and what he's doing. I'm glad you guys are with him. I do watch your show. I'm really not a sports fan as much anymore, like I told you earlier, but Stephen has always been into the radio. Like he said that day he had mentioned my album. Me and Stephen used to play around like we had a radio show back in the day on a tape, on a karaoke tape deck, and we would record radio songs, and we would act like we made commercials. So Stephen was on there, and we had names for him as a radio host, like Vanilla Nice and White Mike and stuff like that. So we had a great time doing that, and we were just messing around. But he went to school for this stuff and really started doing it for real. So I commend him on following his passion and his dream to be, a journalist like you guys, and you guys are covering great topics as far as sports are concerned. And, it actually makes me interested into, watching NBA. I'll always be a fan of NBA, but, I haven't really been keeping up with it. But when I watch your show, that's how I find out what's really going on. So I'm just glad to be on here with you guys. And I'm just glad you brought me on. I'm just, I'm nothing serious. I'm just a Grammy nominated songwriter from Cocoa, Florida. That's all.
Hey.
All right, so
we love it. We love it.
He's too humble, man. He's too humble.
We can't forget about yours, though. All right, so this was Chocolate Thunder, and
that's right. I was Chocolate Thunder. That's right.
Chocolate Thunder and Vanilla Nights.
Hey, I'll tell you what. I know I carried the show, Stephen, but it's your night tonight. Yeah,
100%. Make sure you.
We gotta find this footage, man, wherever it exists at, and bring it up on the show.
It's there. It's in the archives.
We had tapes. I wish I could find them. I don't know where they are. I also got a videotape. I used to record everything when I got a video camera. I would record all of the basketball. Stephen know where I'm going with this. So he had a basketball goal at his house on Cedar Street in Daytona. This is some old school, right? Yeah. Stephen still had the Hansen cut. Stephen did a shot on me on the video, and he beat me one-on-one, right? So I burned the tape. Sorry, I burned the tape because Stephen beat me on camera. I will never let anybody see that. He actually got a good game, just so you guys know. He's got a pretty good game on the court. I don't know if he can still do it, but he used to be okay. He's pretty decent.
I still got it.
Can't shoot. I can't shoot to
Yeah,
save
he's
my life.
like, I
So
still
very
got
nice.
it. Listen at it, guys. He ain't got it.
Yeah,
No
I mean,
more.
I don't have to show it anymore. I can just say I got it, you know?
Oh, excuse me. Okay. All right.
You like JJ Barea?
Yeah,
Hey,
hey,
I
that's
met
a
J.J.
good.
Barea once,
He's
actually.
act, he's actually like what's the guy? He's like my guy from Florida State. What's the guy name? What's the guy from Florida State? Stephen, the point guard. From back
Florida.
in the day.
Charlie
The
Ward.
white
Williams.
the white guy that went pro. What's his name?
Jason
I'm
Williams.
sorry. Not Jason. Before that. You know I'm not that young. Uh
Man.
I can't remember. I'm sorry, but it was a guy. He was really good. He I can't remember his name, but he was also like what's the guy named Mark what?
Mark Price.
Mark Price. Yeah, Stephen had a Mark Price game, but I wasn't talking about Mark Price. I was talking about another guy that went to Florida State that was really good. It was a point guard. I can't remember his name. I know you guys are sports fanatics, but you'll probably think about it when we're done with this. But I can't remember
I'm
his
gonna look it
name.
up. I'm gonna look it up right now. I'm
There
gonna
was
look
a
it up
point guard
right
for Florida
now.
State. I can't remember his name. Steven knows who I'm talking about.
I thought it was Jason Williams. I thought he went to Florida.
No, before Jason Williams we were before that. Jason Williams came out, we were in high school. This was in middle school. You were trying to act like you were something. Anyway, what? Not Mike Bibby. Oh, maybe is it Mike Bibby? No, Mike Bibby ain't white.
Man, let me see right here.
I can't remember the guy's name. He was a great athlete.
To Sacramento.
Florida State point guard.
So when is this tour starting in Europe, Jay?
The tour is starting in June. I think we're going from June 2nd. I'm going to be there for a month. I'm going to be doing all original music out there. I've been trying to get out to the UK for the last 2 years, and a promoter finally reached out to me this year to come out. And what they're actually asking me to do is pretty cool. They're asking me to do, bringing a female singer to do a small snippet of Angie Stone tribute. So that's going to be about a small portion of the show. So that's going to be really interesting to see how that's going to go.
I know you guys were really close. Unfortunately, she did pass away, and that was a tragedy. I know you guys were really close. That's really awesome that you get a chance to honor her memory.
Yeah, I would definitely want to honor her. Yeah, that was very tragic. Obviously, the way she went through a car accident. I had actually spoken to her 2 days before, and I was in Atlanta that week. And she had bought 2 tickets to come to the show I had in Atlanta at Center Stage. And she already purchased the tickets, and obviously she wasn't there because she had passed away. So that was a really tragic situation. But I do miss her, and it was her that got me the Grammy nomination because I wrote for her album called The Art of Love and War, and there's a song called Sit Down that I wrote, I arranged and produced. And she sung it, and the album got nominated for a Grammy. So therefore, because I had a song on the album, I got a Grammy nomination also.
I'll take it.
I'll take it. Yeah, you doggone right. I'll take it, and I'll parade it.
Yeah.
Not only have you
extra $5.
If you assisted in there, you should get it.
Yep.
Yeah, not only assisted it, my friend, I wrote the whole thing. Wrote it, produced it, arranged it. Everything. The whole song was mine. She just put her voice on it.
More with the Motown stuff that we were going for. I just got a chance to go see you go perform a couple months ago, which was an amazing show. You back with that?
Yeah, that was awesome. Yeah, I'm glad you came out. That was at the Peabody. By the way, the Real Temptations are coming to the Peabody in March. A friend of mine saw the ad and was like, "Who are these people? It's not you." I was like, "You do know we're not the Real Temptations, don't you?" I just had to remind them because we're so good. But no,
David Ruffin down there.
I am the David Ruffin in the group. But no, that was a lot of fun. We are going to. I have a show Saturday after my show Friday on the 27th that you just advertised. Thank you so much. We are going to Deerfield Beach, and then we will be in. I think the first out of town gig. Well, not really out of town. It's going to be March 3rd. We're going to be in Jacksonville. So if you're not doing nothing, Steven, and you want to ride up, I'll get you a ticket. You let me know what's going on. And you two gentlemen as well. Yeah. You're my friends now because I'm on here. So I'll get you tickets, man. You know,
Yeah, I'm down in South Florida, so whenever you do something down here, definitely go out and support.
I'm always down there. Where in South Florida are you?
Miami, but more right now, particularly Color Bay.
Okay, so you're way down south, but we do
Yeah,
most
way
of
down.
the Motowners band is from Fort Lauderdale area. We do have a couple singers in Miami, so we do a lot of shows in like Fort Lauderdale. I don't know how far that is, but if you're not
Yeah.
doing nothing on a weekend and you want to slide up and bring a friend, lady or wife or whoever, I can get you a couple tickets, man.
It's a great show.
Definitely
It was
go out and
awesome
support.
spot.
100%.
A lot of fun.
Yeah, man.
Yeah,
All
you'll
right,
have a
Mr.
lot of fun,
Holloway,
man.
man. So, where can people find all of your music and everything that you have going on? Where can they find that out?
Well, they can go to my website. That's where all of the stuff is. www.jkable.com, which is my artist name, Jkable. Cable is my middle name, and J is the initial of my first name, Jared. Also, Facebook, like anywhere else, and Instagram, I'm also on there under the same name. You can Google me. I've worked hard enough; it'll show up in your search bar. So yeah. Definitely check me out. I have 7 albums. I have 10 #1 singles in the UK. I've been working really hard. I've been very grateful for the support of everybody that has supported my music. I'm working on a double disc album, so I'm going to release that this year. So that'll technically be 9 albums, but I'm going to put 2 out at the same time. I'm doing that now.
Not for that.
Yeah. Yeah,
Sounds
I'm
like
really
J. Cole.
J. Cole, yeah. Yeah, except
That's what he just did. He just did. He just dropped
he definitely
basically
did.
2.
Is that the one
Yeah.
he was selling in his trunk? He was
I don't
driving around.
know.
The fall off.
Maybe. I don't know if it was that one or not. Honestly,
I don't know if y'all saw. Did you
I'm
see?
right.
Okay. Did you see any footage of him? He was driving around in a Honda doing something. I don't know if you guys caught
Yeah,
that.
yeah, and
the
they
songs is about it, really, I believe.
that he was
Okay.
giving out he was giving out tickets too for like his upcoming show because they just dropped tickets last week for
Right.
his nation tour. So he was driving around in a Honda Civic and he was giving out tickets.
Correct. Yeah. Yeah. He's a solid artist. Yeah. Great
he
guy.
is. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I do. I actually enjoy his music too. I'm not really a fan of rap. Steven knows I'm an old school R&B guy. But if you rap and I listen to you, in my opinion, you're pretty good. Because I don't really deal with the whole hip hop thing. I'm old school.
From Jkable,
I sing for y'all aunties.
I would love it.
Right.
The guy that you're comparing Steve to, by the way, does it happen to be Ed Young?
No, it isn't.
No.
Dang,
Okay.
I'm glad you did some. I can't remember his name. He had a unique name. I'm sorry I even brought it up. I couldn't remember
no
the
worries,
guy.
no worries.
If you think of it, you know where to find us, and we'll put you on the show again or something. But
Player comps right there with Jkable. There we go.
Hey, thank you very much. Look at Steven. You can go ahead and kick me off, Steven. That's all right. I'm gonna be at your house for your birthday, and I'm gonna make
that's what I'm going to say. That was my next question. Am I going to see you this weekend?
Yeah, Saturday. Yeah, you're gonna see me.
All right, my man. I will see you Saturday when we continue the conversation. Everybody out there, Mr. Jkable, you can find him at a great show coming up on Friday in Cocoa. Please go out and support him. He's a great dude and has an amazing voice and does music for everybody. The whole family can get involved with.
Yo, give him a snippet right now. 10-second snippet. 10-second snippet.
Little tease.
You want a snippet?
Yeah.
What you want? Some vocals?
10 seconds. Yeah, whatever you want.
Sunshine, blue skies. Please go away. My girl has found another and gone away. With her went my future. My life is filled with gloom. Day after day, stay locked up in my room. Come on to the show.
Hey, let's go. Let's go.
All right, Mr. Jkable in the building. Please, thank you for coming on the show, my friend. Come on anytime you want, man. You maybe have to come up with a new song for our show or something, man. How about that?
You got it. Hey, listen, I'll make y'all a jingle too. But check this out. I'm gonna do some research on these artists. On these athletes, so I can come in and debate with y'all. Because I don't know what to say now.
For sure.
Yeah.
For sure.
Bring it on.
All right,
We're
my
ready.
friend. I will see you this weekend. You'll get your tickets for Jkable in Cocoa Beach. You won't be disappointed. I will see you this weekend, my friend.
Thank you. Thank y'all. Y'all have a good night.
Thank you.
You too, man.
You too, man.
Jkable, man, we have a jam-packed show. We
go.
had 2 guests on here tonight. It's been a great show, and we got more stuff to get into tonight. How about we'll jump into the Olympics? Actually, go from one thing to the next. This year, the Olympics set up a great medal count for the United States, and the United States actually finished second place in medal count for the Olympics. But on the bright side, they did set the gold record, the record for the United States in the Winter Olympics at 12 golds this year. So that was really good. But let's face it, the big thing that everybody was talking about was USA winning hockey.
USA, USA
won it as well. Fantastic story. None of us are major hockey guys on the show, but I was so compelled in watching this. It was awesome. It was so much country pride. I loved all the post interviews. I see it every time I start watching hockey. I don't know why I don't watch this more often.
You need to right there, buddy.
What's that?
Yeah, man.
I said, you need to right there. Move over, Canada. This is our sport right now, eh?
Yeah,
baby. Hockey runs through the U.S. and the NHL runs through the state of Florida right there, man. It's our freaking sport.
There we go.
With the Panthers.
And the
it was just awesome country pride. Everything about this was really awesome.
Not the boats. Not the boats.
And the fact that we had to get to play Canada at the end. That's what made it the icing on the cake on here. No pun intended.
Yo, I just want to give out the stats right here, right? Yeah, USA wins first gold medal since 1980.
Let's go. The Miracle on Ice, baby.
Reigning NHL MVP, winner of the Venzi Trophy. Hopefully I said that right. As the league's best goaltender, he cemented himself as the best goaltender in the world with a gold medal game performance. He stopped 41 out of 42 shots against Canada.
Again. How many?
27 of them. 41 out of 42, baby.
Yeah, baby.
27 of them coming from the slot and 17 of them coming from the inner slot. Man. The guy put on a show, he saved, and let's talk about Jack Hughes here. This guy got hit in the mouth with a hockey stick, broke 2 of his teeth. He looked like a caveman after that, didn't come out of the game, and then scores the game-winning goal.
Yep.
Absolutely.
That's man right
How about
dog,
it doesn't even stop there, man. How about the Hughes family? His brother hit the game winner in overtime to get to the gold medal game. So the family's doing good. And if I remember right, too, his mom works for Team USA Hockey as well. So they were doing it really big. Man, it was just awesome to see that the camaraderie, the pride, and I don't know if there was an empty, a dry eye in the building after they brought Godot's jersey out there at the ceremony. Yeah. They brought the kids out there. That was just an amazing show of sportsmanship and just everything that the game is all supposed to be all about. That was such an amazing thing to watch. I can't admit, I have to admit it. I was tearing up like crazy. If you weren't, I don't know, something might be wrong with you.
Well, and also too, you can't, as great as it was for the men as well, it started off with the women. We got to give the shout out to them 100%. As well. They were the second part of that sweep right there. So shout out both men's and women's teams. It's the reason why Canada held on to that sport for so long. They were not going to let go of it like willingly, but doggone it, there, Canada, move on over it. We got another sport right here down in the United States of America there, eh?
Absolutely, man. And also, it was awesome to hear all the speeches afterwards and how excited they were to represent the country. And the Olympics is what I think the Team USA Hockey, men, women, I think they both actually showed what the games are supposed to be all about. People can have divided opinions on a lot of different things in the country, but for 2 weeks is what they always advertise. We're all on one team. And that's exactly what it seemed like. And it's exactly what it was. There was so much unity coming through, and they just kept on talking about having pride for your country. So I thought that was a great show for everybody, from the men and the women, and USA doing something big in the winter, setting our gold medal and coming in second place for gold for counts. So shout out to the USA. Big week for us overseas. And it's also the first time that the USA men's have won the gold in another country. The last 2 have both been in America. So it's just big all around. 46 years in the making for Team USA. Go Team USA.
And shout out as well. One more shout out. I got to shout out a friend of mine, John Magrino, who was handling a lot of the public address announcing for hockey. He did some of the games. Shout out to you, John. Crushed it from the ones that I heard. glad to have you back safe and sound in the U.S. But man, USA baby, that's what it's about.
USA, USA, USA.
Yeah, man, you couldn't not be shouting that afterwards, or whatever. But all right, so we're gonna jump into our last segment here, and it's gonna be a lot of fun. It's got our down bad debate for the night.
It's time for the Down Bad Debate.
All right, tonight's down bad debate. Out on the screen here, it says we have to pick the best three listed here. I think BC and I were talking about it. I think just to have a little bit more fun instead of just picking the best three in the picture. I think create your best three out of the picture. I think it's a little bit more fun for our show. G, Mike, are you on board with this?
To pick your best three?
Yeah, if you were make a 3-on-3, make a 3 squad. I think that just it was a little bit more fun to do it that route, opposed to just being like, I think this person's the best out of here. So BC, I'm gonna have you go first, man. Pick your 3.
It's not easy for me to pick, I will say, just to kind of start it off here a little bit. But if I were to make a big 3, I like something where I get a good combination of size, I get a good combination of physicality, a little bit of some versatility as well, being able to kind of score from multiple positions, do a little bit of everything. I will say most of the guys on this list, aside from a couple of them, do not really play great defense. It's going to be a lot of scoring. So I base this on the fact that I need to get buckets and I need to be able to clean the boards if they miss buckets. So that being said, at my 1, I got to go with probably the biggest point guard on this list, LaMelo Ball. Number 2, I got to go with the sharpshooter AR-15 from deep, Austin Reeves. And in my 3, it's a little bit of hometown bias, but he does have the most boards this season of any guy on this list. Give me Paolo Banchero to kind of give me that big man down low that can kind of give me the best inside defense if they want to try to cut and crash.
Interesting picks. I like it. I like it. G, Mike, you're up now.
All right, so I'm picking 3 others, right? Like I can't pick the same ones.
Oh, you can have some same players if you want.
Anyone. Feel free.
Okay. Honestly, I'll take Cooper Flag because he could run on offense well and he could play defense as well too, and he's a bucket getter, 3-level scorer in my opinion. Give me J-Dub. I love the way that he plays defense. The guy's in the tenacity and the intensity that he has right up in your face is gonna get tough to get a good shot, and he's a bucket getter as well. I like his mid-range shot. And give me Brandon Ingram, man, because this season, bro, he's showing that he can be. He was an all-star again. He can show that he can be the number 1 guy on a Toronto Raptors team, even though him and Scotty Barnes are fighting for it. But Barnes is more of a triple-double kind of guy, being involved in all the types of offense and defense, while Brandon Ingram is a straight bucket getter, 3-level scorer, and he'll literally drain it in anybody's face.
Well, this actually worked out pretty good because we're all going with different players in here as well. So I thought that was actually kind of good. I thought we were all going to kind of maybe agree. So this makes a little bit fun. So I'm going to go with Cooper Flag. Nothing to be that I'm a Mavs fan, but beyond that point, I just like the way that Cooper Flag can play. He's extremely versatile. I'm going to go with Jalen Williams for his defensive presence, and he also can score as well. And the last one was a little bit hard for me because I was going to go Ball in this situation, but I think I'm going to go with Banchero on this one because I like the defense that he's able to bring as well. Plus, you have scoring between all 3 of those guys, so I think it's going to be tough to score in any of them. And so that's why I would build them all, and they all got size and length. So I think it's going to be a difficult team to beat, especially against with these guys on here. So I'm going to take Cooper Flag, Jalen Williams, and Paolo Banchero.
Nice.
Okay, so before we leave, though,
yeah, go ahead.
Let's have the debate on who you think the best 3 players are here. Yeah, because I want to hear what you guys say.
Okay.
So like, for me,
I'll go
right?
first. I'll go first. Then I'll go Cooper Flag still. Cooper Flag, Jalen Williams, and probably it's a tough one between Ball and Banchero. Again, that's kind of where I'm at. But I'll take, I guess, Ball in this situation just for the scoring aspect of what he can do over Paolo, I guess. So mine would be Jalen Williams, Cooper Flag, and Ball.
See, mine would be Cooper Flag, LaMelo Ball, and Pablo Banchero. I think those 3 are the best players on this list. So for me, it's always being able to be a two-way player, right? But then obviously if you're not a two-way player, that means that your one way of how you play has to be impeccable, has to be amazing. And I feel like the way that LaMelo Ball plays on offense, the way he facilitates, the way that he could score at any a spot on the floor, like his offense is just greater than a lot of these other guys. And then Cooper Flag, I think he's a great two-way player. Paulo Banchero, he's not that much of a defensive guy, but I think he can get there. I think that he has the potential to be one of the top defensive guys in the league.
I would definitely agree with that. And I think that really just depends on how the coaches utilize him in Orlando. And I think honestly, I honestly feel like just based on how all the teams playing, they should just move him to the 5. Let him be an actual like traditional big because he's 6'10", he's 250. Like, yeah, he's not the most athletic big, but he's still got size there. And in this modern era, anyway, you can kind of get away with doing something like that, I think, and he still gets boards. So, but that being said, yeah, Powell, I would say is in my best 3 because he's also shown a lot of growth. Yes, injuries have kind of slowed him down for the last couple of years, but when he's at his peak, he's putting up 25, 9, and like 5 a night on pretty still respectable efficiency. That's got to get better, but still, I love that he's a bucket getter. J-Dub, you don't win a championship, even if he was the Robin to Shea's Batman, still all NBA third team, all-star, second team all defense. He's definitely up there as well. And then I'm going to go a little bit different again. I mentioned him on my team. Austin Reeves. I feel like he's made a really big leap. The scoring load he's taken on, the efficiency has been really great from him as well from multiple areas on the court. So he's a near 50, 40, 90 guy scoring 25 a night. I think that that's something to be very respectful. We talked about being great at one thing. He's been really great at offense this year, especially scoring.
Yeah. Facts.
Yeah, I kind of feel like Austin Reeves kind of has that. He's unfortunately that third wheel on a team that they have too many ones on at the point. You know, you got LeBron still doesn't want to give it up, and Luka is the one. But whenever Reeves gets to play by himself, if you will, and they let him free, he really shines. So it's almost like one of those things. Like if I was Reeves, I'd be probably either asking to get out of there or like they got to give me some sort of reassurance that something's going to change. Either LeBron's finally done, maybe he's getting out of there, something. Because whenever he's able to
take him in Orlando, I'll take him down.
There's a lot of teams that would actually probably want him on their team, and I think whenever he's actually able to be free and play looser basketball, it really shows what he can actually do.
But that's the thing, though. That's what's been happening the last 2 weeks to a month is that LeBron has taken that back seat. But when Reeves doesn't do good because he's not as consistent, Braun has to step in and do something. Like the last game when they played last night? I think it was last night or the night before.
It was against Boston.
When they played against Boston, Reeves started out the game 1-6. And it's like, like if you're starting off the game 1-6, then Braun's got to come in. He dropped 20 points. Reeves only had like 16. And then obviously Luka doing what Luka does. But I think like how I've told you guys before, I think Braun's going to get up out of there. And I think the 1-2 punch is going to be Luka and Reeves. I don't think that they're going to let Reeves go at all.
And I think that'd be you never want to say that LeBron's not good by it. So don't take it that way. But I think that might be a little bit more, if they could build around them two right there. I think that could be a little bit better for the Lakers and get some better defense going in there for them or something. But let them two be.
They're younger too.
Let them two build their own chemistry and make something out of that.
Well, and we know that LeBron, at least the rumors are that he's supposed to finish his career out in Cleveland. And who does Cleveland happen to have? A couple of good defensive 7-footers, maybe that they could spare at least one of them to get to LA if they want to make a trade or something like that.
That's done with because he's going to be a free agent.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
Yeah, he's going to be a free agent. They could have done that at the trade deadline. I would have agreed with you there. Like, that would have been smart for them to do right there and there for sure.
Signed. I didn't know if he was still doing the one year every year, if he had done like an extension or something. So
no, they don't want to extend him, which I understand. Like, guy's going to be 40. He's going to be 42. Of course, you don't want to freaking extend him.
Cleveland will still pay the royalty tax for him, though, because he's the king there.
But the thing is, what Cleveland needs is that veteran championship leadership. That's what they really need out there, and they don't really have that. They do it What with the Harden trade, they're what 5-1, 6-1 with Harden being there. Yeah, he's doing good. He's running the offense well, but can Harden really be the guy to be like, okay, we're gonna come together and we're gonna get to the NBA Finals and win a championship?
No.
We don't. We from the past of what we've seen, he cannot do that. What we know about the future, we don't know anything about the future. We don't know if he's going to do that. But from what we've seen from the past, he cannot do that. So if you have Harden, that he has, I think, 2 years or a year left on his contract, and then he'll be a free agent. You bring in Braun to have the leadership, the mentality, and the knowledge of how to get there and how to make James Harden that type of dude. Imagine what they can do.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, well, that's definitely a TBD. It's not going to happen this year. So we have a lot to unravel with that one as well. So, and there's a lot of interesting stuff going on in the NBA right now. And we'll definitely be breaking it down a lot more here in the next few weeks. Realistically, the season is just now kind of getting started. Really, it's that time where stuff actually starts to matter. And seedings and all that good stuff last night. There was a great game last night with San Antonio and Detroit, and San Antonio prevailed. And G Mike and I were talking about that one a little bit on the off camera about San Antonio and Detroit, and there are two teams definitely watch out there. San Antonio got the win if you didn't get a chance to see it, and very compelling game, which could be possibly a NBA finals match. You never know. There's a lot of time left to go, so things are going to change throughout the season. Of course, it's the NBA, so it's always moving. Speaking of always moving, we are going to be moving on for the show for tonight. And, man, we had an awesome show for you tonight. We had some great guests on here. Jeff Weiss was an amazing and inspirational guest. Make sure you check his stuff out. And one of my old closest friends, Jkable, Jay Holloway. Go check out the show in Cocoa. I promise you it's a great adventure. It's a great time, and he's great on the mic, makes you laugh half the time, and he's singing the other time. So it's definitely a lot of fun to go check out one of his shows. Man, we've had so much stuff, and I want to be a little humble brag here, but as you can see here, we're rocking some new merch over here. Let me move the mic out the way so you can get a clear view of it. The views from the stands. We are making it big this year, man. We're going to be having merch. We're going to have our own store going to be opening up so you can be able to get our stuff, support us, and shipping and all that good stuff will be included with your package in there. We'll definitely be posting on there for you in a little while. Just want to give you guys a heads up that is something that is in the works. Vfts.net will be the website. That's going to be up and coming as well. So there's a lot of stuff big that's coming from your guys from Views in the Stands. BC, what do you got for the people before we head out for tonight?
It's the same thing, man. New day. BC the brand _media. We just got some updates as far as some new ventures I've been doing, taking over USF baseball, doing the announcing there. Started Detroit Tigers spring training. Lakeland Flying Tigers regular season will be coming up in April, but been doing that. So you can just kind of keep up with some of the latest updates over here. And also, too, the missus and I, she's mostly running it now. The show, Brandis.media, that's where she's got her portfolios for engagement, photography, videography, you name it. She's got it. And yeah, that's what I got from here. G Mike?
Yeah, guys, thank you for the guests for coming on. I mean, that was awesome stuff that we got, some stuff that we learned, and some inspiration that we got for sure. Guys, if you know what's good, please follow, please like, subscribe, share the show with your family and friends. If you want to talk about a sports podcast show, let them know that Views from the Stands is a show that they want to listen to. We're on Spotify, we're on Apple Music, we're on iHeart, we're on all podcast platforms, we're on social medias as well, Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, and now Twitter. You know, if you could give us a follow there. And if you guys ever want to come on the show, talk sports with us or any other topics now, because we're broadening our horizons, we would appreciate you guys to come on and, kick it with us.
Yep.
Yeah, and I have one more last thing I want to shout out as well. I wanted to say thank you for everybody. Sorry about the debacle of last weekend when I tried to do that live event. It did not go well, so forget that one about the golf. But coming up this weekend, we're going to be trying our hardest to live stream and broadcast the Views from the Stands and Sports Chasers Golf Challenge. It's going to be a lot of fun. We're going to be doing it for your boy's birthday, which is Friday, so this is my last show for the week. I think G Mike
56, baby! 56.
Not quite.
Don't do that to that man. Come on.
If I look as good as Jeff is at 56, and I'll be doing good in my life. And
if I look that,
but we'll be doing the golf challenge this weekend, so we're going to try and live stream it as much as possible. So please check that out. It's us and the Sports Chasers. We got a great collaboration going with that, and it's going to be an awesome time. If not, be on a live stream, check out the episode. It's gonna be a lot of fun. We're gonna try and get as much people as got about 28 people, amateur golfers, having a lot of fun out there and just doing things big for Views from the Stands. So like I said before, we really appreciate everything you guys have done for us. Thank you for all the guests that's coming on. And anybody else who wants to come on, please give us just like and subscribe, and we'll catch you guys very, very soon.
USA.